Hey, it's Jason. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I am documenting my attempt to become a YouTuber. And today, I want to talk about something. I don't know anything about film editing. I wasn't trained in this. I didn't go to school for this. I just have a camera, and frankly, I take the raw MP4 video off of my GoPro. I shouldn't say raw, just the MP4 video, and I throw it in my editor and I edit. But I'm going to start dabbling with some advanced functionality and features, and I didn't even know there was such a thing as the film type that you would use. Kodak film? I thought that went away in the 90s. Follow along and watch as I'm going to show you some very basic setups with an app plugin to Adobe Premiere Pro. And I'm going to give you my reactions to these, and who knows, maybe I'm going to be able to add a little more pizzazz to my videos. Not going to want to miss this, and I'm going to want to hear from you. Tell me what I'm doing wrong and tell me how to get better. Stay tuned. Let's go. Now, I think it's really important to note when I mentioned I didn't even know you could select a type of film, I honestly didn't know that. I just thought you put your MP4 in from GoPro and away you go. Now, a lot of what I'm going to show you, I think, is more for cinematic productions, which I absolutely don't do. My YouTube channel is about cars, DIY, and adventures, and my video is a little bit rough around the edges in some cases. However, I do think there's some cool functionality that I can add. In film, like Fujifilm, Kodak, and all these other companies have the ability to have those filters in your editing application, in my case, Adobe Premiere Pro, which gives you a bit of that 100 years of scientific research that, say, Fujifilm has done, or Kodak, of how the film will actually look. So maybe I should take advantage of that. And it's super interesting that you can add these, and then you can do things like noise and film degradation to add some cool effects. Because as much as we want everything to look great, it's kind of a nostalgic and nice look to add some of this to your videos. But traditionally, this could be kind of difficult to do. I also think it's super interesting that most films are digitally recorded. You watch a Hollywood film, I think I read on Wikipedia, 97% of films are digital. I also think it's interesting that there's a percentage that are still using basic film because they just want that quality. And the ones that are doing it digital are trying to correct their digitals to look like that Kodak or Fujifilm Natural 1600 traditional film that exists. And finally, I shoot on a GoPro. This is a GoPro Hero 12. I have a little Hollyland mic. I just do the best I can. It's not perfect. I'm shooting at 4K. I never considered editing the videos. I've tried a little bit in Adobe Premiere Pro, but is this really going to add an enhancement? I'm going to walk you through as I change the film on some of these clips that I have. I'm going to add some noise to it, and I'm going to ask you, what do you think? And give you my honest feedback of Dehancer, which is what I'm going to be using in Adobe to do this. Now, let me cover a few basics. I don't edit on an HP laptop. I virtually connect to my beefy Alienware computer with phenomenal GPUs and CPUs. This just allows me not to have to physically be in my office to do all of this. And I'm not going to give you a tutorial on how to use Dehancer. I'm not going to show you how to install it. I'm not going to show you necessarily how to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how this looks with different filters that I've applied. And if you use Dehancer, you know that all of your settings would be under effects. You drag the effect Dehancer over, and then over here, you're going to get all of the different control that you can have. Look on YouTube for step-by-step tutorials on how to use it. I'm just going to show you what some of these specific films look like and some of the noise, and give you my reaction to them. This is me learning how to do more. I am not an expert, and I'm doing my best here to give you my initial opinion. Let's go. Okay, now we are looking at Dehancer added to this clip, and it's using the film Kodak Vision 3 250D. In my opinion, it looks like it kind of grayed things out a little bit more than I would like. I know I can go and I can change some of the contrast, but this is just simply dragging Dehancer over and selecting Film, Kodak Vision 3 250D. Now this is one that I really liked. I'm just using Dehancer again. I dragged it over. I went to the film drop down, and this is using Fujifilm Natura 1600. I think this softens up my skin tone a little bit. It makes it more natural, it seems. And it doesn't seem as gray compared to the Kodak one, in my opinion. What do you think? So far, I like this one quite a bit, and it took just a few seconds to add. Now we're playing with a little bit of film damage. I stuck with the Fujifilm 1600 and I added a dust amount of 2. You can barely even make this out, frankly, but it's there. And dust and damage to film can really add some nice effects to cinematic productions or give you a nice break when you're filming and editing, just to mix things up a little bit. So we're going to step up the film damage just a bit. Now we're going with dust amount 120 with a scale of 100. You can really start to see the effects here. This is something I was absolutely clueless on how to do before I had Dehancer, and I think it can be kind of cool when I'm doing some videos specifically of some of the old classic cars. Adding this filter will really give it something. It will set it kind of to an old time look. But I kind of felt like it just wasn't enough. This is using all of the same films. However, I made a slight change. My dust amount is 120, my scale was 100, and I added a hairs amount, 128. So what this is doing is, like in the old days, no doubt there will be dust and particles get on the film. This gives it a bit of that look. And again, depending on what you're filming and how you're doing it, this could be a really nice edit to do quick. Okay, so we're really stepping up here. We're sticking with Fujifilm 1600. We went dust amount 120, hairs amount 128, but the big difference here is size. We did a size balance of 100. You can absolutely notice this a lot more, as if you put a film in and started to play it years ago. Pretty cool, very easy to do. Now what you're looking at here is all of the settings that I changed under film damage. You can pause it and you can actually copy this just to play with it and learn. Now let's play with noise a little bit. I stuck with Fujifilm and I changed the grain to one of the settings they gave, which was 60 millimeters at an ISO of 500. Film grain is interesting to me, just like some of the damage, because the more digital we go, the more we kind of want to keep doing some things in analog and point to it. So this is just a profile drop down under film grain, 60 millimeter with an ISO of 500. Now instead of using a profile they gave, I went ahead and used a custom profile. Again, this is film grain and Dehancer. This is size 48, amount 100, film resolution 100, with shadows of 100 and highlights of 100. So you can very much see kind of the graininess of the picture. Again, use cases for me will be some of the antiques that I do, as well as some of the antique cars. So what you're looking at here are all of the settings that are available in Dehancer. Again, you just drag the Dehancer effect to the video clip, and in the effects control menu, you can edit all of these settings and customize as much as you want. I am absolutely no pro in video editing, but I do believe Dehancer is going to enhance my videos without adding too much of a laborious task to do it. The nature of my business and my YouTube channel, jamzDOTnet, I do not have the luxury spending days and days editing a video. I'm not creating cinematic productions. I'm creating DIY videos and car show videos. But it is nice to add a level of excitement to them. And the reason why Dehancer has a role here for me is it's going to give me that authentic look to some of my videos. So without me trying to make my GoPro 4K export look fantastic, I can just say use the Kodak or use the Fujifilm profile and everything is set. It also is going to give me really comprehensive grading tools. I'm going to have to continue to read the tutorials on Dehancer and learn, but as I step up my YouTube game, and you learn this from Mr. Beast and everybody, as you do more videos, they get better. Make sure you're starting with the foundation to grow upon. I don't want to limit myself. That's why I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro, and that's why I'm starting to layer on a little more complexity to my videos. I like to think they're getting better on my jamzDOTnet channel. It also gives you a lot of advanced creative effects like bloom or like vignettes and false colors, and they help you shape your image and kind of give more creative decisions during the process. Overall, I do find it's pretty darn easy to use if you know what those menu options can do. I don't know anything about film editing, so I have to do some research. I didn't know what bloom meant, as an example. I honestly didn't even know I could select a grade of film and use that, as I mentioned earlier. It's very easy to use, and the reason why it's easy to use because it natively integrates into Adobe Premiere Pro. So it's like any effect I'm using, it's just there. It's not some random new app I have to use. It's just unlocking functionality in Adobe Premiere Pro to allow me to do it. So this is Jason. Hey, it's Jason is my channel, and this is the behind the scenes look at me trying to become an aspiring YouTuber for my primary channel, jamzDOTnet. I hope you found this helpful. Watch a ton of other videos on YouTube that really get into how to use it. This is just me beginning to dabble with it. Have a great day, and give this little channel a subscribe, and watch me try to attempt my goals of being a YouTuber. Have a great day.